All right, my friends, money. It's something that we don't like to talk about. Somewhere along the line, we were told that money's a hush hush subject. We're not to talk about it. And so people don't want to talk about it openly. And I totally get it. But we all have some stories surrounding money. And whether you feel like you don't have enough, we don't know how it works, or we don't understand it, it's okay. What happens is we take and we kind of push it to the side and we do nothing to tell it how to work for us. So I decided in this week's episode, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about how to get your money right with my friend Jessica Hosbein. She is amazing, y'all. And we're going to share with you how to really like create harmony with your money and make it work for you. Now, if you're joining us, say, hey, Aaron, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I always want to know who's with me when you're joining us live. And if you want to get a copy of today's show notes, make sure to drop the word money below because we are going to get those over to you. Now, if you have stumbled upon us somehow, I'm Erin Bird and I support studio owners and dance educators to really grow their businesses without the burnout, the overwhelm, or sacrificing your own personal life. Because the truth of the matter is, you don't have to. You can have passion, you can have profit, and you can live the life of your dreams. And I have to tell y'all, friends, if you know somebody who needs to hear this message today, who may be struggling with feeling overwhelmed with their finances or how money's going to work for them within their business and their personal life, then feel free to sprinkle the love around. Y'all, we're better together and we should share, right? We should share. So make sure to sprinkle the love around and say hello. I see y'all here. Come on, say hello. Let us know how things are going for you. And today is going to be a conversation that is worth having. So, y'all, I'm going to just take a moment and tell you a little bit about Jessica. I met her and I fell in love with her because our values align so much. We look at the power behind money because here's the thing, friends, money, it's not evil. Oh my gosh, I just got the first comment on the earrings. I will tell a story about these earrings in just a second, y'all, but thank you. Loving the earring. I know you normally don't see me in earrings, but good morning. I'm so glad that you're here with us, or afternoon, I think, for some of you. So yes, let us know that you're here. Hey, say what's up. Let me know if you love the earrings. This is a new look for me, and I will tell you it's inspired by one of my good friends. But anywho, Jessica is amazing, y'all, and our values align. We really know how important it is for studio owners to get their money in line, get your money in order, right? Like it's so important because it really you can't make educated decisions for your business if your finances are a mess, right? So fancy. I'm so fancy. Okay, my gosh, you guys, I'm going to just go on a tangent today. So, before I bring in Jessica, can I tell you a little story about these earrings? Okay, so I'll just share it because you know me, I love to share the love. So, most of you know, if you've been following me for a while, that I am part of a mastermind group for high level entrepreneurs. And one of the gals, Miss Christine, who is in this mastermind with me, she has two different brands. She's like a brand stylist as well as personal stylist. She has House of Style is one of her brands. And then when pandemic hit, she also started a whole channel and does live about waist up wardrobe, right? Because we are all on Zoom from the waist up for the most part for so many people. And so she started the waist up wardrobe and she's absolutely fabulous, y'all. Anyway, I could go on about Christine. She's just so great. So anyway, I was telling her while we were at our retreat that she always wears these big amazing earrings, right? Like I watch her on Zoom in our mastermind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could pull those off. And so, right. So we're having this conversation about it. And so, what do you know? She's so sweet. She says she's going to convert me to the dark side of big audacious earrings, right? So she picked out these earrings for me. She sent me the little your big audacious earrings box, right? So pretty, right? And they're inside there. So I got them. I'm like, oh, I have to wear them and see what the response is from my audience. And hello, so far I think everyone's loving it. So if y'all love big audacious earrings, or feel like you want to like try something new, let me know. I'll connect you with Christine, but I'm gonna try out this look. Okay, so anywho, tangent over for today. So fun, right? Yes, so fun. Okay, so let's get down to why we're really here, y'all. I'm going to bring in Jessica because it is time for us to talk about getting your money right. We are approaching the end of 2022. Y'all, it's just around the corner. Hey, Jessica, it is just around the corner. And what I think tends to happen is we get to this point and we might have some anxiety around the end of the year's coming, which means tax season's coming, which reminds me I haven't done enough when it comes to organizing my finances, to getting myself together, and then it becomes overwhelming. And again, we have two choices. We could stick our head in the sand and act like it's not there, or we can get to work, or we can get some support. But today I really want to talk about like the why, maybe why we as an industry, unfortunately, have a little bit of problem with finances and money. So there's that. And then kind of maybe some of the things that we could do coming from your perspective as a bookkeeping service that who serves dance studio owners, gymnastic facilities, like you understand this sort of business, it's who you deal with. And so really coming out from you and saying, hey, this is kind of what I'm seeing. Here's a few little tips and tricks that will really help you. So let us know in the comments below. Again, remember, y'all, this is a safe space, no judgment. I have to tell you that in the beginning for me, my money was a mess. Like in the very beginning, it was a mess. And as we grew, the problems only got bigger and bigger, right? And I had this point where I was like, oh gosh, I need to like start. When I say start over, you can't really start over from a clean slate, but really start over. Okay, from now on. Okay, y'all, I'm in it one today. Anyway, from now on, it's going to be different, right? And so I know you guys, so no guilt here, no judgment, whatever. I've been there, totally understand. So right now, if we're being honest, how many of us are keeping up with our bookkeeping tasks, our money, our finances, our profit and loss statements? We're looking at the numbers consistently for Finance Fridays or Money Mondays. How many of us are doing this? And here's the thing, again, no judgment, right? Been there. It's about taking action and moving forward. So let us know in the comments below where you're at. Like a 1, I'm on top of it. I look at my money. I do my bookkeeping every single week. I'm on top of it. 2, I do it, but not as consistently as I should. Or 3, I put it to the side until I am forced to get it done. Let us know where you're at. All right. So like I said, Jessica's with Stand Up Bookkeeping, and so she's got the insight. So Jessica, what do you see being on your side of things? Because I have a certain perspective coming from my side, from the coaching side. But okay, a 2. We're doing some work. We got a 2. We're doing some work, but maybe not as consistently as you would like. Okay, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it, my friend. So Jessica, what do you see like is the biggest struggle for studio owners when it comes to really just organizing their finances? What do you feel like you see on your end when people either come to you or you're having conversations with studio owners? What's the struggle? What's the problem?
Yeah, I think A big struggle sometimes is not even knowing where to start. With so many accounting software options out there, it can be overwhelming just even choosing what do I go with? Do I just do it myself and do it on Excel? Do I go with QuickBooks? I mean, sometimes just making that choice alone, it can be overwhelming. But then the big thing for me, the big struggle is factor in a business owner's time, right? Your
Mhm.
time is valuable. And it should be spent focused on growing your business, not researching accounting software programs, not learning how to do bookkeeping. We don't need a Google basic, bookkeeping 101. You guys don't have time for that. And then certainly not data entering your receipts into an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, that is just a big waste of time for every book or every business owner. So a bookkeeper really should be a business owner's first hire, or at least one of the first, because it will create that foundation of organized finances from the get-go.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that for I'm going to go on a limb here and say for 99% of studio owners, bookkeeping does not bring them joy like some of the other things that we do in our studio do. It doesn't bring you joy. Let me know here. Anybody here, does bookkeeping bring them joy? I would like to know. I mean, and if it does, I know it does for Jessica, but honestly, it does not for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I would much rather spend my time working with studio owners one-on-one, coaching them, seeing them grow, helping them, right? So I know that yes, my time is absolutely valuable. And the truth is, to your point, I think as studio owners, we are amazing at learning new things, adapting, overcoming, right? Sometimes it's super fun, but not always. It's super fun when you're seeing like really good numbers in there,
Yeah.
right? That part could be super fun, but then when you get the other stuff, you're like, oh, not so much. So I think so many of us, we're good at so many things, right? And we can be the jack of all trades, master of none. But the truth of the matter is, we don't need to do everything.
Exactly.
And just because you can doesn't mean you should,
Yes.
right? Okay, I love it. If the numbers were bigger, it could definitely bring me more joy,
Yeah.
right? I get it, right? And that's a whole nother conversation that we can have about making those numbers bigger. But I agree with you, Jessica, in that the foundation of our business really we have to make decisions on our business based on facts and not feelings for the most part. And no, don't get me wrong, feelings are important. But when it comes to making decisions about our business, like tuition structure, profit margins, when it is time to hire somebody, you can't really make an educated decision if you don't know what your numbers are
Yes.
and how those decisions will affect your bottom line, your profit. How are they going, like, so we have to start with that. And yes, I agree with you. I've had people come to me and say, technology isn't my thing, so I'm still just doing my own like journal entry because it's overwhelming to think about how do I learn QuickBooks, how or which program do I use, or and to that I'm like, well, I get it, right? The paper and the pen, it's worked ish for you for however many years, but we also have to look at the bigger picture of you may not want to do this forever. And if you want to sell, if you want to hand it off, if you want to do something, you need to have something that you can pass off that is concrete, makes sense, and that shows everything in a really logical and streamlined and easy way. So, not to go on a whole tangent about that, but y'all know that it can be overwhelming, right?
It can.
And so, when we talk about specifically money,
Hmm.
because I think there's something to be said about here. Like there's the whole idea of the finances, like getting them organized and stuff, like how that could be overwhelming. But do you think that studio owners struggle with money because they don't understand how to make it work for them? Or do you think it's something else in general?
Yeah, I think a part of it could be not knowing how to make their money work for them. To me, as in like not having a clear picture of the financials to see where their money is going and coming, aka your expenses and your income, right? Because knowing this information will make business owners aware if they're
Mhm.
spending more than what they're bringing in. It will also help them understand their company's profitability to make those future decisions, like we were just talking about. You don't want to make blind decisions about growing your business without knowing the financial backbone to support it, right?
Mhm.
But as far as making their money work for them, like overall, the biggest struggle I see consistently across the board is not having the time to manage the finances, not having the bookkeeping and accounting knowledge to manage them correctly, and not knowing all the ways to maximize tax deductions.
Oh, that's a good point. So if you're joining us, say what's up. Let us know that you're here. We want to know that you're here with us. So speaking of tax deductions, so do you see some ways that, or do you want to share a couple ways that people could maximize their deductions? Because I know, especially as we move into the end of the year, I'm always like, y'all, if you're going to be investing in a program or new software or something, like end of the year is kind of time to do it. Just saying is all. So, do you think that there's certain things that they could do to help maximize their deductions?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way to maximize tax deductions is to try to turn personal expenses into business expenses. So what I mean by that is let's turn everyday expenses into write-offs. For example, like some business owners could, and I want to strongly emphasize could here because there are some caveats to what I'm about to say, but business owners could write off their car, their home office,
Mhm.
their cell phone. You could hire your kids to work inside your business. So these are everyday expenses that we already have. So let's just turn them into business deductions. And one tip I like to give right off the bat, and I've shared this on my Facebook page because it's such a simple one that I think maybe most people don't think about. But one simple tax deduction every studio owner can implement today is turn the clothes that you're wearing to work into a tax deduction by simply adding your logo on it. Done.
100%, y'all. I mean, it's like there's so like if you get if I get my big audacious earrings box for my live, guess what, guys? Tax deduction. So right, which is so true. I think that sometimes we forget. We go and we buy. Okay, let's be real. Real time, truth time. We're going to share here. How many of us have 22 pairs of black leggings in all sorts of varieties? The other day, my husband was like, I bought some more. And um, he's like, why do you need more? And I was like, why don't I need more? Way more than 22. Yes. I'm like, what? Why? Why wouldn't I? So,
What kind of a
so
question is that?
I know. I'm like, hello, right? Like, but the truth is, like, those sort of things, you need them to do your job. I need them to do my job, right? Effectively. So we should be writing them off. Which, I mean, of course, sorry, gonna go in real quick. You guys, there's only one more room left to the Dance Studio Owners Beach Business Retreat. And I know it's coming up in just a couple weeks, but that's a tax deduction. I mean, y'all, you can come to the beach, have a private chef, do yoga on the beach, and learn some things and write it off.
Yep,
Right?
that
That's
would
it.
be continuing education expense or education and training expense. Absolutely.
Right. So we have, I'm gonna show it. We have one more. I'm like, I'm just gonna show that on the screen because I thought, like, hey, that ties totally in to what we're talking about. But y'all don't wait because I need to know before Friday so I can tell the chef if you're joining us or not. So we want to make sure that you're fed well. So there is one more spot at the Beach Owners Business Retreat. So if you are thinking you've been on the fence, y'all, jump. It'll be that tax deduction that you need to help you before the end of the year. Just saying is all. So we'll talk about it if you have more questions about that event. So, all right. So then, my friends, what if we had to if you could give us before I do that, I'm gonna lie. I lied here, you guys. I want to make sure that you guys are connecting with Jessica. If you have questions, oh well, it would help if I actually put your right information in here. So I'm gonna work on that right
Okay.
now. While you give and share with us, what is the biggest tip when it comes to getting your money in order before the new year? Like, what's your big tip?
I feel like this might be an obvious answer coming from me, but the biggest tip and probably the easiest tip, get a bookkeeper. Get a
Yeah.
good bookkeeper, and I would say get a good tax strategist. Don't wait until tax season. It is a mad nobody wins really when it comes to tax season. Insider tip also, a lot of professionals in this industry will charge a rush fee if you do wait till tax season. So save yourself financially and save yourself the headache, and don't wait until tax season. It's not too late. Like, get a bookkeeper and get a tax strategist now. Get your books in order now. Get a tax plan together now, because finding a good bookkeeper and a tax strategist will not only relieve so much stress and take that burden off your shoulders, but it will help your business grow in ways you never thought.
1000%. I love that you said that because here's the thing. I believe very strongly that you need to have a couple good things in your business. You need to have a great bookkeeper who is on board to be part of your team and to help you make informed decisions, and an accountant, right? A tax strategist, a CPA that works in conjunction, because you need them to help you make those data driven decisions on where to go. There was one point where, we were told, hey, well, you can either pay this much in taxes or you could go buy this thing. Well, I rather go buy this thing and actually
Yeah.
have something than just, I don't want to say just pay to the government, because you guys know how I feel. Like, we all need to do our part. But right, when we make more money, we get to pay more taxes. Maybe. So it's having those sort of conversations and having someone who is committed to really seeing your business grow and lean into, well, how do we leverage this? How do we maximize it? What makes the most sense? And they will help you along the way make those decisions. It's not just a simple transactional at tax time where they're like, hey, okay, you owe, da, da. No. You need someone who is part of your team, and they really should look at it that way. And so if right now you feel like your accountant is very transactional only when it's tax time, I would look for a new accountant,
Yep.
right?
Aaron, I
And
want to chime in there for a second.
yes,
It's very unfortunate and kind of sad to me, actually. I feel like everybody that I've talked to about, like every client that I have said, have had concerns about their current accountant. Their accountant was just basically filing the taxes, where me and the CPA that I partner with, that's why I'm not just calling him a CPA or a tax planner. I
mm,
mean, he is a tax strategist. We
wow.
find ways to support our clients by finding all those tax deductions so they are not paying more in taxes. We want them to pay less in taxes. So,
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I'm glad that you said that, because I think that so many times it ends up being, yes, this transactional piece, and they hand over and it's like, okay, well, here's what you owe. And there's no thought into, how do we actually help them thrive?
right.
And so that's why it is so, so important and to find that. So the bookkeeper, the accountant, and y'all know how I feel. Y'all need to have a lawyer too up in your, and maybe not just one. You might need to have more than one depending on what you're doing, but at minimum, have an attorney, a lawyer that you work with. Um, it's so important,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, to really look at these sort of things. And I will tell you guys, I'm sharing like all the things from my today. I got my earrings. I have this candle. You guys, it's money. This is it. Of money. Money isn't a bad thing, my friends. You can do more for the world, for yourself, for your family. You could do more if you're not poor. And I know that sounds bad, but the truth is, when we figure out our finances, when we figure out or we have some support in knowing how to make our money work for us instead of just giving it away to the government if we don't need to, we can then take the difference and do something good in the world, right? We all feel inside our hearts like we want every child to have access to the arts. I know so many of us feel that way. And when you have a student who may have come on hard times or something, you want to be able to support them. Understanding your money and having your finances in order is how you make that happen, right? You can donate to causes in larger amounts in whatever. You can donate more. You can show up in the world and make a bigger impact when you're able to understand your finances.
Right.
And so having money and talking about money is not a bad thing.
No.
And I really hope that we can shift things and have more conversations about it and not make it so taboo, because money really, I mean, what is money? Money is just energy. And I'm not a very woo woo person. If you guys know me, I am not like, but I really do think that money is just energy, and it shifts from one to the other. Like, money is an exchange for something, and it's just, that's all that it is. It's just a tool to account and track for things.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So we have to really work on our stories with money. Oh my gosh, this is so good. There's a comment. It's absolutely true. That's how I feel about it. The more I make, the more I can help others and those I love. Yes! 100% true. We can help more people, right? But we have to be okay with understanding that to be able to do that, we have to understand our finances and we have to get ourselves in line. So, y'all, make sure to connect with Jessica. I threw her link to her Facebook page in
Thank
there.
you.
Is there another way that you would like them to connect with you, or is Facebook the best way?
Facebook would be great. Let's just keep it easy. Facebook is great. I can be found there. I am taking on some new clients. I might stop in January once things start to get tense with the tax season. So if this is something you need, jump on it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. And Jessica, she actually, we have mutual clients, and I feel really comfortable sending my clients to her because, like I said, our values align. We know what the goals are, the objectives, not objections, objectives are. And I mean, there are some objections sometimes, but the objectives are when it comes to getting our business finances in line. So, my friends, make sure to connect with her. If you have questions, of course, I'm here as well to answer any questions you have. Some of you know, I feel very strongly about tuition structures. And if you want to start thinking about how do I revamp those for 2023, now's a good time to talk about those. Looking at our finances, like, well, this is what happened to 2022. Maybe the profit margin wasn't where I wanted it to be. Maybe I'm not paying myself what I deserve and to be paid for the amount of time that I'm spending in the studio. Like, maybe those are some questions. So we want to be there to support you guys with that. So
Yes.
know that. Yes, know that. So I have to say a big thank you, Jessica, for coming in, sharing some really great nuggets with us. And no, my friends, it is time. If you are feeling like my head's in the sand because I'm ignoring my finances a little bit, it's time. It's time to take action, to make a change. And there's people there to support you. There really is. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I always
Thank
love it when
you.
my friends join us. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And y'all, we're here to help. If you have more questions, so going back real quick, if you want a copy of today's show notes, drop the word money below. If you want to talk about the retreat and snagging that last room, drop the word retreat. I'll reach out to you. Me and my team will reach out to you, and we will absolutely get you in. But it's first come, first serve. And I have to tell them by Friday how many I have for our yummy chef who's making some delicious food. And last but not least, make sure to connect with Jessica because she is a wealth of information and she loves helping our my community. So I'm going to leave you all there. Thank you again, Jessica, for joining us, and
You're
I will
welcome.
see everybody very, very soon. Bye, guys. Have a great day.